Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. Let's be honest, wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Angelo Rocha. I am the host of Vet for Vets, a show where we take local county, Johnson County veterans, and we talk to them. We chit-chat with them, and we get to know a little bit more about them, their life before, during, and after the military service. I reach out to veterans on Facebook and other social media sites, always looking for people that want to come on and tell their story and tell stories about things they've gone through, things they've experienced, happy times, sad times, funny times, emotionally driven heartbreaking times and times of camaraderie. And some people like Shawna here in front of me reach out to me and they say, hey, I want to tell my story. Today I have with me Shawna Loftis Story. She's here in Johnson County. She is a Army veteran, believe it or not.
Yes.
She is the first veteran on my show that happens to be by herself as a guest. We've had a previous guest. She was fantastic. Bobby Riley's wife, Julie Riley. She's been on here before. And you are officially my first female guest that's by herself, who doesn't have anybody, who just came on your own terms. Then you're not scared to just come here and then just tell your story.
Yep.
So she joined the National Guard back in 2002, the Georgia National Guard. So she can get some education benefits, which is usually what a lot of veterans do. She went to AIT, and then eventually she went to college. She went to and joined she got orders to go to the Homeland Security in Fort Meade, Maryland. She was in the security with the NSA. In 2005, she got an attachment orders for the 48th Brigade in Georgia. We're not going to talk about this one. Something happened 2006, which is it's one of those things where people just, I don't even want to talk about it. It's shit. But anyway, in 2009, her oldest daughter was born. What's her name, by the way?
Liliana.
Oh, we're going to talk about Liliana later.
Thank you.
Okay, in 2012, she was sent to Korea on one-year orders. She left Korea May of 2013 to come back and care for her daughter. In 2014, she moved to Texas with her daughter, Ileana. And she also has another child who is 3 years old.
Three.
Okay, we're going to talk about your children.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I get started, I just want to mention that if you're a veteran, I do this every show, if you know what I do. Every show, I talk about veteran health, veteran PTSD, and veteran suicide, sadly. I'm sure a lot of you know who listen to this and are veterans that sadly about 22 veterans a day either kill themselves or die for some unknown reasons. Some are homeless. Some are in positions where they're struggling. They don't know what to do. They are addicted to something. They're having spousal issues. They're having issues when it regards family and children. There are gambling issues, just anything, depression, which is a big one. And one of the biggest ones is PTSD because they don't know how to deal with it. And one of the ways you can do that is by reaching out to 988. That's a number where you can call in. It's going to have one of those generic, press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish. You press 1. Then it's going to tell you if you're a first responder, if you're a military veteran, or you're in the military. It's going to have a kind of a numbered system where you choose which one you are. And as soon as you click that number, within seconds, you're going to be taken to somebody who's an actual professional who's actually been trained to talk to people who are in the position that you're in. It can be involving bankruptcy. It can be involved PTSD. It can be involving needing to get a divorce. What they do is they try to help you by any means necessary. That means that they take you to the people that can help you. And their overall goal is to make sure you don't actually end yourself, because you matter to everyone around you. Even if you don't think so, you are more important than you think you are. I'm telling you. I've had too many friends and too many people close to me who've ended themselves because they felt like there was nowhere they can go. There was nowhere they can go, when in fact there was a place to go. So with my guests here, my first question for you, Shawna, is if a veteran came up to you and says, hey, I need help, what would you try to tell them to try to make them feel better?
Well, I would talk to them and find out what their concerns are, what's going on, find out what that whole person concept is, where can I help you? So, and then I'm super empathetic. So I want to know, tell me your story and see if I can help. But then I know a lot of resources here in Johnson County. And even if we reach out to 988, or there's a lot here in Johnson County that they can reach out to. You have the Military Veterans Peer Network. And then the VETS Center also has a counselor here. So they can reach out to them and just find somebody that you can confide in, that you can talk to.
What in your opinion, what do you think is the worst thing a veteran can do when they need help?
Bottle it up.
Or not even contact, or not saying anything about it.
Yeah, just keeping it to themselves. At some point, we all have to let stuff out. So we have to reach out to our friends, our family, people that we trust and can confide in.
Okay, once again, that's 988. Reach out. You can always call me and people like Shawna. We'll answer the phone call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And you put my dollar on that. Put your dollar bet on that I will answer your phone call if you call me, even if I don't even know what it's from. Okay? But anyway, so today we're going to talk to Shawna Loftis Story.
Yes.
Okay? We're going to get to know about you as the person.
Okay.
Well, what things you've experienced. We're going to our first half of the show, we're going to talk about your life before, maybe even right after you joined the military. The second half is what you've experienced in the military and maybe what your life has been after the military.
Okay.
So, my first question for you, Shawna, think about this. Where did you grow up?
That's a big question for me because I lived in 8 different states before I turned 18.
Okay.
So I was born in Oregon, but I lived in Oregon, Idaho, Virginia, Georgia, North Carolina, California.
Was it a military thing? Was your
No, my parents,
Just
we
moved.
never, yeah, we just moved. They'd be like, all right, we're not going to live here anymore. And my mom's from the West Coast and my dad's from the East Coast.
Yeah.
So we just would pick up and go to a family and start over and
Oh,
go from
okay.
there.
So that's nothing wrong with that. You got
Yeah.
did you see anything really amazing when you were a little kid that you remember?
We used to go to a lot of the state parks,
Yeah.
and you remember the arrowheads? Like I don't,
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they do
Absolutely.
it now, but like we would go and find arrowheads,
Yeah,
and we
the
used to have
obsidian arrowheads.
Mhm.
Oh man, that's
from different
fantastic.
places because we would drive across country. We wouldn't fly.
No.
We would be in a car with 6 of us
Oh
going
man,
across country.
that's fantastic. So, how were your parents growing up? Are they still around? You
Yeah.
don't mind me asking?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, they're still around, and actually, I mean, I had okay parents. I mean, I don't. We grew up very poor, but they supported us and they allowed us to kind of, I guess, be ourselves. I mean, we did a little bit of different things.
Yeah, they just let you be what you wanted to be. It was like
Yeah.
you made your own decisions. Like, hey,
Right.
whatever you decide to do, you decide. That's
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
How would you say you were as a kid growing up?
I was a tomboy.
Were you?
Yes. I remember. So we lived in Boise. We lived in this apartment complex,
Yeah.
and there was a field in the front of the apartment complex, and we would play football in the front of the field. Well, the boys didn't like me playing football because I was too aggressive. So they kicked me out of the game.
The wusses.
Yeah. So I got my brother and we decided we were going to steal their football and pop it.
Oh
So-
no, you are a troublemaker.
Yes. So we did. We got the football, we popped it. They weren't very happy.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh man. Do you remember anything you did other than that you kind of recall when you were a kid?
I was in the international club when I was in high school.
Internet? What is
Yeah,
that?
so it was a club where like other people from other countries,
Yeah.
and then we joined a parade. So I was in Boise at this time.
Yeah.
I was so I was a freshman in Boise High School and then a sophomore in Caldwell High School in Idaho. And we were in this, I think it was Caldwell, where it was just a bunch of people from just a club of international
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
And I joined it and we went in the parade and my dad took his truck. It was like an F-150. And we
Yeah.
decorated the F-150 and put it in the parade.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You mentioned a brother. How many siblings do you have?
So there's actually 4 of us.
Oh,
Yeah,
So it's
so-
you and 3 brothers.
No, I have my oldest sister. I'm the second.
You want to say what their names are to kind of
So-
throw their names out there?
Sure. So Brandy Chambers is my oldest sister.
Yeah.
Josh Grodidier is my brother. He's a Marine Corps veteran.
Oh, nice.
And
Maybe he could be on the show later.
right.
talk about
Yeah.
it.
And Jake Lotus is an Army veteran.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you were growing up. I guess you're the middle child.
hmm
Oh, nice. How were all your siblings? How were they growing up?
We had our fights.
Well,
Me and my
which
sister.
siblings don't?
Right. So I was always the aggressor. I don't want to say the aggressor, but I always stood my ground. Like you weren't playing with me.
Okay, who was the shit stir? The one that always caused trouble?
Oh, my sister.
Go ahead, call 'em out.
My
Your
sister.
oldest?
Yes, Brandy. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Nice.
She'd get me in trouble for something she would
Yeah.
do.
Who was the nicest one?
I want to say I was the nicest one as
Yeah.
long as you didn't get on my bad side.
Oh,
I would do
yeah.
anything for you, but if you messed up and you got on my bad side, we're gonna fight.
Do you have any funny stories regarding your siblings growing up?
Oh, we lived in Idaho, and me and
Yeah.
my sister, I don't know, we got into it maybe over cleaning our room or something.
Yeah.
And she pushed me and I fell back on my hand and I broke my
Oh.
finger.
Did she try to pass it off? It was just an accident. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
remember doing the same type of stuff to my sister because I only have one sister. Yeah, we fought all the time.
Yeah.
It was always about her cleaning her room.
Right?
If she's listening right now, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. I would lock her out of her own room and she would be mad at me, let me in. And then she'd come in and her room would be cleaned up, just because she was just, it was a pigsty, and she would
Right.
be the first to admit that.
Yeah, I shared a room with my sister,
Nice.
and then my brothers had their room.
So did you have any teachers growing up that you recall, even though you've been to like 17,000 different states, do you remember any teachers that kind of stuck out in your mind that maybe were mentors that you recall?
I don't. I'm not gonna lie, I don't. I was in shop class in my senior year of high school. I remember that. In my junior year, I started work, so I got out of school early to go to work.
Oh, that's cool. Where'd you
Right.
work at?
I worked at the Food Lion. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
in Virginia.
Well, I used to work at this really fine restaurant. It was like really exquisite, like food and
Oh,
dining, like
nice.
like 5-star restaurant. And I
Mhm.
remember dressing all nice
Yeah.
and, really nice
Fancy,
spiffy.
yeah.
Yeah. And I remember I earned so much money that I was able to buy my own stuff at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like my own Nintendo clothes and
Right.
shoes and stuff. I would
Yeah.
go to school with fancy clothes, and it just, even though my family was
Yeah,
poor,
yeah. Yeah, I paid for my own prom dress.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness gracious. Do you have a favorite state?
Yes, Washington State. All day long.
Really?
Yep, I'd leave. If I could afford to live there, I wouldn't live in Texas.
Tell you what, well, Texas has a lot of beautiful areas. What would you say is the most beautiful place in Texas?
My house.
Your house. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Texas, I do like San Antonio. We've gone to San Antonio. I love the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
I hate Galveston. I
Really?
hate Galveston. It's hot. It's
It is.
muggy.
All the time.
The
all year
beach
round.
is blah. Like, yeah.
So you're growing up, well, and you said you're a tomboy, but were you more of a bookworm or were you more of a sports person?
No, I was outgoing. I'm a social butterfly.
So you are. You're one of those, you just like to have fun, and
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you're in middle school, you're doing shop, you're doing whatever. When did it click in your head that maybe, you know what, I might join the military?
Not until after high school.
After high school?
Yes. I actually was going to school in Barnesville, Georgia.
Barnesville?
Yes.
That sounds like something a Texas city would be named, because,
They were-
like, Gun Barrel City, Texas.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, Barnesville, Texas.
I'm sure there's one here.
I bet you there is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But so I was actually already registered in college and ready to go. And my boyfriend at the time, he was at the recruiter station, and they were gearing up and like getting their weight and tape and all that craziness.
The
that we're
prep for MEPS.
Yeah, talking about going in. And I went in one day with him, and he's like, well, why don't you go in? And I'm like, what? Really? He's like, well, we'll pay for your college. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, let's talk about this. And off I went.
And that's all you did.
That's
A couple
it.
months later, or you said by the time you signed the paperwork,
Yeah.
how soon were you at MEPS?
So I want to say I was at MEPS by the end of March. So I signed my contract March 10th of 2002. And in the end of March, I was ready to roll out. I got back from basic training like August.
Oh, wow.
And I was already done with basic and AIT by August.
Oh, man. So can't imagine. How was your MEPS experience? A lot of people remember. A lot of men remember it because of how weird it is,
Yeah.
and all the weird people. The weird, it's
Yeah.
weird swearing in, and you got everything going on. Do you remember anything about MEPS?
Not really. I mean, I think it was a little emotional just to realize like, oh, I'm actually doing this. But I mean, once I decide on something,
Yeah.
that's it. Like, we're making it happen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So where'd you go to AIT?
AIT, Fort Lee, Virginia.
Fort Lee?
I think so. Yeah.
So before your AIT, where'd you go for basic?
Fort Jackson.
Fort Jackson. Okay. How
Yeah.
was that experience?
Relaxing Jackson.
Was it really?
No,
Oh,
it was
about to
hot
say.
and gross. And I remember, so the drills they yell, right? They're
Yeah,
all yelling.
All the yelling.
And
Well, nowadays they try not to because of
yeah.
all these
Yeah.
kids that are too sensitive to the yelling. here's the, they have the little
Yeah.
stress card. Oh my Lord. What is that? I don't even
Yeah.
know.
So my uncle actually told me, he said, if you ever use a stress card, I will come to
I will
Georgia
beat
and
you down.
beat you. Yes.
Yep.
They're yelling at everybody and I'm going to send you home. And I would cry because they wanted to send me home.
Hey,
Yeah.
everybody's their own.
Yep. It's
So
true.
do you remember any of your drill sergeants from boot camp?
Drill Sergeant Peterson, he would take that weapon
Yeah.
and hit himself in the head with it. It was crazy.
What was your favorite part of boot camp?
I would say, I don't know. I didn't mind running. Like, I didn't mind doing the PT.
Same here with me. I loved the PT.
Yeah,
I
the
loved
PT
it.
was good.
Yeah, they would get mad at me sometimes because I'd be running up and down the hallways in our barracks, and they're like,
Mm.
"Go to bed, go to private, go to bed."
So one thing, I can't keep a cadence to save my life. They actually had to pull me out on Sunday afternoon to do DNC.
You couldn't do DNC?
No, I can't. I have 2 left feet.
Oh no, that would be my pet peeve if I was a drill sergeant or a drill
Mhm.
instructor. Oh my Lord,
Yeah.
half right face,
No.
above. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, so you graduate boot camp, you make it, you go to AIT in Fort Lee.
Mhm.
What did you go to AIT for?
I was a supply sergeant.
There's
Yeah.
an actual school
So,
for supply, or is
yeah.
it?
So
I thought I thought they assigned you that after AIT.
No. So there's 2 supply sergeants. So you're a 92 Alpha or you're 92 Yankee.
Yeah.
92 Alphas are your logistics supply. They're the guys in the warehouse issuing items, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Unit supply is like, I'm going to come in and inventory all of your equipment and make sure that nothing is stolen.
Yeah.
And then I answer to you and say, hey, Commander, all your equipment is here.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to turn in that monitor right there and you want a new one? Okay, let's turn that in. We'll get you a brand new one.
Yeah.
That's
That's practical. How was it?
I loved supply. I
Yeah.
absolutely, if I would have done 20 years, I would have stayed in supply. I love
We're
supply
going to
work.
talk about why you decided to get out.
Okay.
But so you said you get AIT. Where was your first duty station? Because you were National Guard, so that means
Yes.
you went back home.
Yeah.
You were going back in once a month during the
Yep.
weekends.
Yeah. So
Where was your home base?
So my home base was in Jackson, Georgia. I actually graduated high school from Jackson.
Yeah.
So they had a maintenance unit in Jackson, and that's where I did my monthly drills. But I did what's called AGR, which is Active Guard Reserve. So they would give me like 1 month orders, 3 months orders, and I would go work at the armory as a private, doing whatever work they needed done in the supply room, getting ready for inventories, doing a layout for the unit.
Yeah. Were you pretty good with your job as the supply person?
I think I was. I mean, I'm not a huge I don't like to give myself a ton of compliments, but I did all right. I
You did
all right.
okay.
Yeah.
So you go to National Guard, you get orders. You get orders
Yes.
to go to either Iraq, Afghanistan, wherever it is.
Right.
How were you feeling when you first got your orders to get deployed?
I was ready to go. I was tired of the small town. So Jackson, Georgia, there's 10,000 people there. It's like godly Texas,
Yeah, it's
right?
small.
It's small. So I was at a point in my life where I was like, I need something more. And I never wanted the small town, like this is where I'm going to be at for the rest of my life. So for me, it was a relief. Like, all right, let's go make something happen with your life.
No, okay. So where did you get deployed?
So my first deployment was, like you said, the NSA. I did Homeland Security, did gate guard for NSA for a year.
That was fun, huh?
That was really fun. And I turned 21 up there.
Yeah.
So, Maryland we went to Baltimore. I went to New Jersey. I went to Philadelphia.
You got to visit a lot of
yes,
places.
I'm not one to sit around and do nothing.
That's cool. Do you have any funny stories doing all the security stuff?
Not that I could probably tell.
I could one good example I can think of. When I did the security guard, we did a lot of traffic control points.
Yeah.
And one time we had this friend of ours. He was a hefty guy. He was overweight, but everybody called him something. I don't remember what his name was. We'll just call him Big Guy.
Yeah.
So this big guy was complaining. He was talking about, did you know it was nighttime? So there's literally it's just pitch black because there's no lights anywhere. But we're in the middle of nowhere in Iraq and pitch black. All we see is just our lights from our vehicles. And we're stopping these vehicles that try to come through. And he goes, did you know that these bats out here, they suck they suck the blood from the humans and they gives them a disease and it kills him. He's panicky. He's like that, He's like, oh my God. So one of us happens to find one of these little bats from like it was just laying upside down on the Humvee, the bottom of the Humvee. So they grabbed the bat and the bat is struggling, and all of a sudden we put it on his shoulder. No, we didn't think the bat's actually bit.
Oh God.
So all of a sudden, hey, I forgot what his name was. The big guy, we're like, hey, look on your shoulder. He goes and turns towards his shoulder and sees the bat. All you see is just him going in and out of the darkness. And then all of a sudden he comes out and he's got this bat and the bat is stuck on his neck, just like sucking up. Yeah, he had to go see the doc. Yeah, he had to go see the doc. It was just a joke. We didn't mean to. And all of a sudden he was fine. It was just like a plain old bat. It was just a regular blind bat. We were just joking around,
Gosh.
So, but that was a funny little story.
Right?
That was just one of my thousands of different stories. So how long were you over there?
So I was in, I want to say we were gone 11, 12 months, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we had fun. We did a lot of stuff, and we got 9mm, so that was awesome. We didn't have to carry M4s.
And you're so
16s.
lucky.
So it was definitely an interesting deployment for me. And then with the National Guard, I went on another deployment to Iraq.
Yeah.
And that was my second deployment for National Guard.
What'd you do there?
I was a supply sergeant, so a lot of class 2 supplies. So the person that issues your PT uniform, I had tons of PT uniforms. I'd be like, come get some, just take them.
Take it.
Here's because I don't know if you guys know, like a regular soldier would know, but we had ADO we had to order.
Yeah.
So every month we had to order uniforms for the soldiers and our team members.
Yeah, it was almost like a restock. Even if you didn't have it or need it, you still had to order it.
We still had to order it, and I had so much that I had to order and give out.
Where were you when I was in? Good Lord. All my uniforms just got worn out so fast, so dirty, just from running. Oh.
See, bad supply sergeant.
Man.
I'd give you anything. You need a Gerber?
Right.
Here, let's come get a Gerber.
Right.
You need a new cool knife. You need a med kit. Here you go. Just come sign for it. You can have it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have any fun experiences when you were deployed?
Oh yeah. So when I was in Iraq, my second deployment to Iraq, because I did too.
Yeah.
So I was once with the National Guard, and then when I went active duty with the EOD, which I had no idea what EOD was until
you didn't know it was explosive ordnance.
No. So I'm in the National Guard, right? You don't know any of this stuff, right?
You don't know.
So I get my orders, and it says 707th EOD, and I'm like, what is EOD? So on the computer, looking up what EOD is. And so I get there in June, and January we have orders. We're getting orders, right?
Yeah.
We're gone. January 1st we left. So we're in Iraq, and I drive to go pick up Chow. I'm on Taji, and we went to go pick up Chow, and I came back. Apparently I ran over something. And so 130 degrees outside, and I have to change a Humvee tire.
Oh, nice. Out there.
It's user level, and that's what my NCO said. Hey, guess what? User level, you can fix that. So
that's freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Did you have anybody in your unit that sadly got killed by IEDs, or maybe sniper or anything like that?
Not while we were there. Well, I guess I did. Yes, my roommate actually, because there was only 2 of us. So, EOD is a very small community. There's 44-man companies. We're small. And it's not a very female-oriented field.
It is not.
So so I was in, let me think about this. I was in Baghdad, and before I went up to Taji, and she was out on her mission, and the explosive ordnance rolled. It rolled, and it blew up in the truck.
Oh.
Yeah. So. Yep. She didn't die. She's okay.
Luckily.
She's still here. But it was definitely interesting.
No.
I don't know how else to explain it.
Once again, if you're now just tuning in or listening, I'm talking to Shawna Loftis Story. She's a local Johnson County veteran. We are talking about her life before, during, and after the military service. So far, it's been so great. We're talking about her life kind of leading up to Iraq. And it's been fantastic. Just once again, if you're a veteran and you're going through some stuff and you're going through depression where it's so severe and you're thinking about ending yourself, please do not do that. We already have enough people out there that are just being statistics, and that's all you'll end up being is a statistic.
Don't let it get that
Yeah,
far.
don't let it get that far. I'm telling you, just call and reach out. Quit being a prideful SOB. Quit being like an independent SOB where you think nobody can ever help you. There are people that legitimately,
Care.
I feel like I'm from Texas now, legitly. There are people out there that
We
can,
care.
yeah, we actually care. We actually do care, and we actually want what's best for you. And what's best for you is for you to get the help that you need. So when we get back to our second half, we're gonna talk about Shawna and her organizations that she's currently involved in. Maybe talk about your kids, talk about your brothers and your siblings, what they're up to now, just kind of and stuff like that.
Sounds
This is
good.
Angelo Rocha. Please tune in. Love you guys, and please just wait 2 dang minutes. There's people that log off after as soon as I get done talking, they go. It's like, quit leaving me. I love you guys. Bye.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
I love that intro. Tiffany chose that song. Sounds like something militaristic. You know,
Right.
when you're marching and
Yeah.
you're waiting. If you're in the military, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Waiting, run to wait, then you wait some more, and then you hurry up to wait. You wait some more, and then you go and run some more to wait some more, and then
Hurry up and
by the
wait.
time you're done waiting, you got to wait some more. That's how the military goes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Vet for Vets, a show in Johnson County on the Joco Community Radio, where we talk to local Johnson County veterans and actually just Texas veterans in general, because there's a lot of veterans that want to talk who are outside of Johnson County, and we want to spotlight them. People like Shawna here, Shawna Loftis Story, however you want to call her. I guess that's her middle name, right?
Yes.
Loftis, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, before we get started, I just wanted to mention that Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and is live 24/7 on the TuneIn Radio Network. TuneInJoco.com is the place to find all the ways to listen and watch, and the station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. That's all Android and Apple devices. Simply search your store, check out our lineup and more at JocoCommunityRadio.com. This episode and more are brought to you by Next Level Claims. Once again, that's Next Level Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-TEX-HAIL. That's 844-839-4245. Be sure to dress your arms and more at thetiffy.com. That's THETIFFIE.com. That's actually Tiffany's actual website. If you
Okay.
if you want to buy, go to that website. You'll see some stuff that you might like. You know, it's
Okay.
on there. I recommend it.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna start our second half of this show. We have with us Shawna Loftis Story.
Mhm.
So there's a reason behind your name of Story.
Yes.
So that means somewhere along the lines, while you served in Iraq, while you did all your awesome supplying, you met your current husband, not your previous one.
Correct.
So, because we'll just say we never even mentioned his name because apparently it was not a good experience.
Correct.
So you tell me a little bit about your husband. Tell him.
Okay. So I actually met my husband in Texas. I'm married to a Texan, which I've never
Never in a million years.
No, never in a million years. Not a veteran.
I'm married to a Texan, and I never.
Yeah.
I'm a Yankee. I've never thought in a million years I'd be
Right.
married to a Texan.
Right. Yeah. So
Twice I did it.
So my husband's actually from Irving.
Yeah.
And I actually brought him down to Cleburne, Texas, is where we live. We live over in Cleburne.
Yeah.
And we met in 2000, and we actually met in 2014, right after I got here. And we started talking, and then I was like, no, this guy, I can't.
Yeah.
And then I went off, dated a couple other guys, tried a couple military guys, because I'm like, you know what? I'm from the military. I should be dating military. No.
Worst idea.
Yeah, no. I'll stick to my civilian. I love my civilian. He's
Yeah.
supportive. He supports everything that I do.
Yeah.
Even though I do a ton of crazy stuff. I get involved with a lot of different veterans groups, a lot of different things with my kids, and he's behind me all the way.
So is he listening in
amazing.
right now?
I don't think so. I think he's taking care of the kids.
He's taking care of the kids. Okay. Well, if you happen to watch this later, just let you know that your wife absolutely loves you.
Yes,
Absolutely.
He's amazing.
So you have your first daughter.
Mhm.
You had her. When was she born?
So she was born in 2009, right after my ex-husband got back from Iraq, and we obviously, you have kids or you end up having kids. And my daughter was born in 2009. Her name's Liliana, and she's everything to me. Like she's been through thick and thin with me.
Yeah, she's your first baby. She's like
Yep.
your golden child.
Yeah. So she's 14 now. She's going into high school. Makes me sad. Makes me want to cry. But she's in the drill team or the flag team.
Yeah.
And we do a lot with that. We did Girl Scouts. We got here. We didn't know anybody. So I was like, you know what? And so the Girl Scout troop leader, like I guess for the big Girl Scouts was like, hey, we're recruiting. We need people to do this. So I was like, all right, let's do Girl Scouts. And I became a Girl Scout troop leader. And we held up. You know what? I met my best friends through Girl Scouts. Heidi is the best. She's amazing. Heidi Stewart she's been there through everything.
Yeah. So you marry, you do it right this time.
Yeah.
You find somebody who's supportive, who's there for you. And I guess you have another child.
Yeah. So 2020, we got married in 2018. 2020 rolls around, and we're having another one. And so 14 and 3.
Nice. Well, it's nothing wrong with that.
No.
All your youngest will just have a bigger sister. That's all.
Yeah.
An older, bigger sister.
Well, it's nice because I don't have to pay for like expensive classes, and then now I can like take a break. Well, I mean, like the oldest one, and then when the baby gets up there, Dakota. When Dakota gets bigger, we'll go from there.
Does your oldest daughter know about your military stuff, your military background? You ever talk to her about it?
Absolutely. I even bought them like cute little dog tags, and instead of the social, I put my service dates in there.
My oldest daughter Daniela, she does the same thing. I don't know if she does now, but she used to have my dog tags all the time everywhere I go with my O positive, my religion, all of that.
Yeah,
she used to do that all the time, but I don't know.
Yeah, so I made one for each of them, and I was like, all right, Liliana, you have to keep Dakota's until she's old enough to understand what this is. But I get involved with the VFW. I'm involved with veterans housing.
Do you want to talk about some of these organizations, what they do?
Sure.
Talk about it.
Yeah, so the VFW, we do coffee with veterans. We're in Cleburne. So there's one in Cleburne, there's one in Alvarado, there's not one in Burleson. So we kind of tap into Burleson. We kind of both do.
Yeah.
And then the American Legion is over there, and I've been over there as well. But it's basically just to bring that camaraderie back, just so that we can socialize and get with like-minded individuals who understand us, because a lot of times we're misunderstood.
We are, because we're all twisted and have a weird
Yeah.
deviant mindset, and a
Right.
lot of people don't understand this. They don't
Mhm.
understand our jokes. They don't understand our lingo.
No.
And a lot of
Yeah.
people don't understand. And the only
Yeah.
way you can do that is by associating with other people
Yep.
like you who
Yeah.
happen to also be veterans.
Yep. So I'm part of the VFW. I'm actually the VFW commander this year.
Oh wow! Congrats.
Thank you.
Were you elected in?
I was.
Oh,
I was.
that's fantastic.
Yeah. And then I'm also doing veterans housing. So we're doing a golf tournament to support veterans housing in Johnson County.
Yeah.
Um,
How
and
does
that's
how
kinda-
does that work? So you have the golf tournament or whatever,
Yes.
or tournaments or whatever you have lined up, and the donations, that's what you help.
So actually, you're going to be able to buy tickets, and so we're gonna. So one of my board members is aviation, and they're going to be doing like a ball drop, and then you can actually sign your team up either individually or as a team. I'm not a golfer, so please forgive me when I'm like trying to explain this because
Yeah.
I'm not a golfer. So you can sign your team up to go play golf and I guess win. I'm
Yeah.
not exactly sure how they win, but they win.
Okay.
And then we're also going to be like dropping golf balls. We're going to have a special area. We're doing it out at Cleburne golf course.
Okay.
And then they're going to drop these golf balls out of the sky, out of a helicopter. And then so the person that's closest to the hole is going to get a certain amount of money. And then so you're going to win
that's
things,
cool.
and then we're going to win prizes. So we're going to do like a raffle also. So we're going to be like raffling off different prizes. So if your ball is called, then you get that prize.
Oh no, that's
So
cool.
we're going to be
that does
taking.
make it random because you never know who
Yeah.
gets there, whoever signs the ball, and that's cool.
Mhm. So you'll be able to purchase your ball, and you'll be able to sign up your team, and it's all going to go to veterans housing in Johnson County to support homeless veterans.
Mm.
So
How many of the homeless veterans do you think are in Johnson County?
I think the number is high. So I can tell you we've had 12 at least this year. So
I think that's 12 too many.
yes,
Especially for people who
Mhm.
did something not many people do, and that's volunteer to join their
1%.
military force, the 1%.
Yep, the 1%.
And the 1% should be treated, I'm not saying necessarily like royalty, because not everybody
Mhm.
does magnificent things for them.
Mhm.
Some people are not good soldiers. Some people are not
Mhm.
good airmen. Some people are not good seamen, or or other things, or good Marines.
Yeah.
Not all of them are.
No.
But doesn't matter if they're good or not. The matter of fact is they did something, which is
Yeah.
they served for their country.
I'm on the line that nobody needs to be homeless.
No, I
But,
agree with you.
I
Nobody
mean,
should be homeless.
but-
Everybody should have a place they can call home, or a place
Yep.
where they can go to that's air conditioned, that
Mhm.
has a kitchen where they can cook,
Mhm.
and they have a place where they can lay down and
Yeah.
call a bed.
Yeah.
Not a cardboard box in the middle of
Correct.
a road or down under a bridge.
Correct.
Especially when you're a veteran. Well, no homelessness, like you
Right.
said, but
But
especially
especially our veterans.
or maybe former police officers,
Yeah.
former fire department officers,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
firefighters. None of them
Yeah.
should be under a bridge in a cardboard box.
And it comes back to that mental health, because it's all somewhere something disconnected, and they're not getting the help that they need. So we want to be able to provide that housing, also connect them to the resources that they need.
Yeah.
So connect them to financial assistance if that's what they need. Connect them to the mental health. Connect them to the VA if they're not getting their VA benefits, or they're under getting their VA benefits.
Yeah, a
The
lot of people
VA
they don't know what they're supposed to get.
Yep. So the VA hands them 10%. They
Man,
walk
I'll tell
away.
you what, yeah, and they think that's all they
Yeah,
got. And
so-
what's weird is there's a lot of veterans who have all of these issues.
Yeah.
Oh, so one of my guests asked, "Are you related to Michael's story?" No,
No, I'm not.
She is not. It's a different story.
No.
Because we have a friend of ours. His name
Okay.
is Mike Story. He's
Yeah.
a former coworker at my
Okay.
old company, Union Pacific. That's
Okay.
fantastic. So I'm going to ask you a little question here.
Okay.
Okay. If you could do one thing for veterans right now, if you had the money for yourself, what
Mm-hmm.
would that one thing be?
I absolutely would buy a piece of land and housing.
Housing?
Yes. I mean, so I'm a veterans career advisor, so I can help you with the resume, and I can help you get in front of employers. The connection, but being able to, that everybody is struggling with housing right now. And if a landlord comes at you and says, you have to make 3 times the amount of rent, and rent is $1,000, and you're on a VA pension, or you're on Social Security because you don't get the VA pension, or you don't get VA comp and pen, and you're supposed to be making, you make $1,000 a month. So 3 times that is $3,000.
Yeah.
Where, so
Where are they
that's
going to
like,
get the
yeah,
money?
that's so me housing all the way.
I agree.
So-
What are some other organizations that you're involved with? Is that pretty much it?
Yeah, so I do volunteer for Joshua ISD. My daughter's on the Essence team, so she does the flag. I always get this messed up. It's the flag team. Like they go on
Yeah,
the football
yeah.
field.
Where they flip it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
My
so-
daughter did that for a little bit.
Yeah, so I volunteer with them and pick up meals for them this season. So we're freshmen, so we're coming into this. Last year, I volunteered as a parent liaison for the Joshua dance team, which is the Royal Bells. And then we did so anything to do with my kids and anything to do with veterans is really where
That's
I
fantastic.
get involved.
Do you what's the one thing you wish the military did more for veterans other than housing?
Just you know what, educating them, getting them in front of employers, preparing them for after the military.
I agree.
So
Post-military education is important because a lot of them are in jobs in the military that they
yeah.
say, for example, here's a great example, EOD.
Yep.
You tell them, what are you going to do after the military? If you spent the last 20 years working as a bomb expert or a combat engineer, which is what they are, what are you going to do out in the civilian life? You think you're just going to be working into a police station, bomb explosives ordnance team? No.
There's only 2 or 3 of those positions
that's
available.
it. That's it. And you're like, what are you going to do? And I think this is why it's important that the military leaves it open-ended, where when you leave, they educate you on what other things are available other than just bomb-related stuff.
Labor market. Where does your and think about not just, okay, here's my job. You said 20 years, right?
Yeah,
So we're going to go with 20 years. So your job was EOD. What else was your secondary duties? Think about those.
Yeah.
You trained soldiers. You took them to finance. You assisted them in basically human services. You
were a leader.
You're a leader.
And
leadership.
Your leadership roles. And I'm quite sure there's jobs out there, even if you don't have the experience, they would take a person who has managerial and leadership skills over somebody who might have a degree, but is not a good leader, is not a good manager, or is too scared to confront their employers. Military guys are not. Military guys will confront other people in the civilian market and say, hey, get your crap together and, or you're going to be let go. But, that's insane to me.
But I can personally help. If you need help with a resume and you're a veteran, you can go and I can help you with that.
Do you receive VA benefits?
I do.
Okay, same here. I get a little bit of disability. That's fantastic.
Yep.
So, right, here's another question I usually ask a lot of my guests. If you had a child right here sitting in this chair, maybe your daughter, maybe your oldest daughter, she's sitting right here and she asks you, Mom, what is a veteran and what does it mean to be a veteran? What would you say to her honestly?
I would say a veteran is somebody who chose to serve their country, to leave their family in order to serve our country and the people of our country. And what was the second part of that question?
No, just nothing. What it means to be a veteran. It's like what it means to be a veteran and what what it represents.
Representing, I think, is different from just being a veteran, because representing the veteran community is representing giving back to the community, giving back to our veterans, giving back to our just us, you're a veteran, I'm a veteran. Like, hey man, you need help. Hey, you don't know where to do this or that. Hey, I know this person. Let me connect you.
So I did 10 years in the Army.
Okay.
It was more like 9 years and like 3/4 of, but I say 10 because it's 10.
Easy,
it's literally 10 because if you average it's 10.
Yeah.
People ask me, why didn't I stay 20? I could have stayed 10 because I could have retired in 2017. I could have retired with 20 years in the military and I would have gotten my retirement through the military when I turned 60 years old, whatever it is now, 55, 60, whatever. Why didn't I stay? And my reason was because my daughter, my oldest, Daniela, was growing up. I was missing her first words, her first steps, her first big moments. And I chose to get out. At the time I was married to my ex-wife and my ex-wife was saying, I hate Oklahoma. And I was like, you're right. Yeah. I want to get out and we'll go ahead and we'll start a life, see where we can go from there. You stayed in 12 years. What was the reason for not staying? You're 20.
So very similar situation. I was dual military. He wasn't doing what he's supposed to be doing. And the minute that you get sent overseas or you get sent somewhere and you can't have your child with you, and being a mom, you're a mom. You're a mom first. And when things aren't going right and you can't do anything and your hands are tied behind your back, you can't focus on your job. You can't focus on maintaining a unit and making sure they're prepared to go to war if, North Korea decides to do something crazy, so and I worked for an MI unit. So, it's kind of an important role, but my daughter, man, I had to come home. I couldn't do it. I said, I'm done. And I tried to make the marriage work. I tried to come home and maybe dual military wasn't it. And let's try to make this work. I ended up in Hawaii. I went to Hawaii for
Nothing
6
wrong
months.
with that.
No, I hated it.
You hated Hawaii? A lot of
hate it.
people love that's like their dream sheet. Hawaii.
No. When you're coming from one island to the next and your marriage is falling apart and you're trying to deal with life and you're trying to figure out whether you're going to go back to school or you're going to get a job or how you're going to support your family, what are you going to do? It was stressful. 5 months of stress. I picked up my daughter, my 4 bags that were allowed on that airplane, and I was out. And here I am.
So you mentioned that you were in Korea, South Korea for a while.
Yeah.
How was that little adventure?
You know what? I love Korea. Military is what you make of it. If you want to sit in your barracks room or you want to go on right outside the gate and get drunk every night, that's on you. You make that decision. But me, I went to a temple. I went and
you got to see the beautiful South Korea that it is.
Yeah, like I meditated. I mean, I
wish I learned how to meditate. Sometimes my patience gets the best of me.
Right?
So we got about 8 minutes, Shawna. Okay. Yeah. Well, normally I do this with some of my guests. Is there anything you want to talk about that you want to bring up? If there isn't, there's normally most shows I bring up these random rapid fire questions that you and I just go back and forth with.
Okay.
They're fun little questions. So the reason for this that I started doing this is because I like the people that are watching or the people that are listening to know more about you. Okay. Not to know where you live or what your social security number is, but more like, hey, what's your favorite color? Yeah. Maybe even talk a little bit, make it quick and snappy, and that's it. You and I get to know. Okay. Yeah. So the first question is, what has been your favorite age so far?
Oh, that's interesting. You know what? 40. I just turned 40 this year, and I went skydiving. I got my BA. I think 40's been awesome to me.
Oh, really? Mine was 25. Do you know why?
Why?
My daughter was born when I was 25. Angelo Rocha, by the way, who turned 18 in March. I'm happy to announce that after her 9 months of stubborn pregnancy, my daughter and her boyfriend / fiance, whatever they are, I don't know what they are, they finally had their baby, and I'm officially a grandfather.
Yay. Congratulations.
He was born at 12:35 or something like that. 8 pounds 5 ounces.
That's a big baby.
Next question, what time do you usually go to bed at night?
Probably about 10 o'clock.
Yeah, same. I think
I got to get my 3-year-old to sleep.
my wife Summer's the same way. She has a set standard of time. It's like if she stays up past that time, she is not in a happy mood.
No.
Well, what word do you hate hearing? Mine is I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's like, what do you mean you don't know? It's a simple question.
I say that a lot. I do. That's the one that I do. I don't know a word I hate hearing.
Like if there's a word that somebody says to you, you're like, okay, that's annoying me. That's
annoying me. I don't really have anything.
Okay, all right. Here's my next question. As the veteran guys, what is your favorite movie genre?
Oh, I like romantic comedies.
Really? What's your favorite romantic comedy movie?
Oh, the one that comes to mind is Sweet Home Alabama.
That's my wife's favorite movie of all time. She's literally the other day I came home and she's watching it's like halfway through the movie. Yeah.
I like Pride and Prejudice too. I love the antagonizing like back and forth.
Yeah. Okay. What is your strongest, most what is your most strongly held belief?
Be the change you wish to see in the world. Be that change. Be that person who cares and who is just there. Just be the change.
Yeah, mine is the belief that God gives you the people that you need, not the people you want.
That's a good one. I like that.
I'm a firm believer in that. Every
Mhm.
single person I've ever met that I've run into, because you think
Yep.
about the million different spider webs of
Mhm.
choices you can choose, millions and millions of choices. If I decide to go left or go right, I'm going to meet somebody there. I'm going to meet somebody there. And eventually you kind of come to where we are today.
Mhm.
And sometimes you run into people. It's almost like it was
Absolutely.
planned,
Yeah.
you know, and they give
Absolutely.
you planned. It's people that you never plan on meeting, but then you do.
My husband.
When
Exactly.
you least suspect it.
Yeah. My husband's that way.
What
He-
is the worst present you have ever received?
the worst present?
Yeah.
Oh,
If you recall anything.
you know, so okay, so their thought, their heart was in the right place, but I don't like it. I don't like my Instapot. It scares the crap out of me.
That's literally my wife's favorite thing to use.
I love my
Instapot.
crock pot.
Yeah, she loves both the crock pot and Instapot.
Yeah, I can't figure the Instapot out.
And then my teenagers just pot.
Oh God, I hope mine doesn't go there.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
It's a joke.
You're good.
Okay, well, do you believe in second chances?
Absolutely.
Yeah, same here.
Absolutely.
I do. I sometimes even threes, because sometimes people do make mistakes after doing a mistake.
Yep.
There are some things that people do that you can never forgive.
That is
Cheating,
true.
adultery, cheating.
Well, see,
It's
that's
no,
not unforgivable.
to me, it's very unforgivable. It depends on the situation.
Yeah, that's
Because
not an unforgivable
because
one.
I've been in a situation where something like that has happened, but it's like we got over it and we talked about it and it worked out in the best.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, what's the next question for Shawna? What is a mistake you might have made at work that you regret?
Oh, you know, when you have
It could be military.
BCC and the CC line and you accidentally put everybody in the CC line and you're not supposed to. I think I've done that once or twice.
Oh boy, that's not fun.
No. Yeah, no. And then you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to get in trouble.
Do you prefer to cook for the family and friends, or do you prefer to eat out with the friends?
Oh,
and
it
family?
depends on who they are.
Oh,
If it's my family.
You heard that first.
Yep.
If your family, you're going to be eating out.
Yep, we're eating out.
I'm not cooking out. What is something you wish you learned sooner?
Patience.
Mine is financing.
Oh, you know what that?
I
like
think if I knew like credit when I was in high school, they taught you, but you didn't really fully comprehend it.
Yes.
But man, I wish I had learned about credit early on.
I'm making my daughter like, listen, you need to listen about this.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your favorite holiday food?
Oh, holiday food.
Everybody has it. Man, I love yams. I'm sorry, that's my thing. Yam is my jam.
So I love cheesecake.
Cheesecake?
Yes.
What kind of cheesecake?
You know what? I made a really awesome Kahlua cheesecake.
Nothing wrong with throwing a little alcohol in there.
I love cheesecake.
Do you collect anything?
I collect wine glasses, but they can't be just the wine glasses you buy at the store.
Yeah.
They're crystal. I have glasses I brought back from Iraq. I have glasses I brought back from Korea.
That's
I
cool.
have 2 china cabinets full of crystal.
Mine is masks. I got like African masks, tribal masks all over my house, just hanging all over the walls.
Oh, yeah.
I have masks that are not really fancy masks. They're just masks. And I'm like, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And I'll put it on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife Summer keeps buying me different we're talking about like tribal masks from the middle of a town that was probably stolen, God forbid. But it's like one of those and I just have this thing for them.
Yeah, I crystal and glass, and like one day I'm gonna own a set of Waterford crystal glassware.
Really? Those are nice.
Oh, right.
Okay, we got 1 minute left.
Okay.
Here you go. Have you ever won a contest?
Never. No, I'm so unlucky. I can't even win money on a scratch off.
Oh
no,
I've gotten quite lucky.
No.
What is the one thing that makes you sad? Something that breaks your heart?
When my friends are sad, or when somebody else is hurting, or homelessness, like all of that, I'm very much in the community. So when you see somebody that's going through just a hard time, I feel for them. I just can't. I want to help. Whatever I can do, I want to help.
Yeah, me, it's homelessness.
Yeah.
And I think about these people that are struggling while we're giving billions of dollars down there to Ukraine, while we have our own Americans, our own very, homegrown Americans struggling day to day.
Suffering.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was Shawna Loftis here, and I'm Angelo Rocha. This is Vet for Vets. Thank you so much for listening. Please watch, listen to the show after the show, post-show if you want.
Right.
That way you can watch it. Thank you so much. We love y'all.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.